keep smiling.
I know, because you never know where you are with you.
And I'm going here. Ah. There we go. I had to switch out. Come on. I love computers. Especially when they're working.
Yes, that's the best time.
Yeah. And this one is working fine. I just can't see my Facebook screen.
But the good news is I can see everybody.
And here.
Mm-hmm. There you go. See, the blessings are flowing, friend. We're good.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I just can't see my Facebook group thing from over here. That is so weird. It says we're on. It doesn't say we're live, but we are live on YouTube. So y'all can just have a nice little conversation.
Okay. Oh, we are live? Okay.
On YouTube. On YouTube. Just only on YouTube.
That's all right. We can...
I'm just working on the Facebook.
I started. Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks.
No, because we're not... just have conversation.
We're not going to start.
No, because I need to start on Facebook is where we need to start. So,
okay. So can we have a pre-show conversation over here on YouTube?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All righty. Well, it is Labor Day morning, ladies. And we are here to have our Monday morning talk. I have two guests with me today. I have Miss Melma Jones and Miss Natalie Gorman, and they're here today to enlighten you about information that will help us do business better. So I'm going to ask Melma to tell us what it is that you do.
Okay, can we
have to tell us again when we get over here?
Okay, yes, because I'm getting ready to tell you that you're going to have to say that again. So,
yeah.
So
we're going to go through this. But for our guests that are watching us on YouTube, Melma, can you give us a little capsule of what it is that you do?
Sure. I'm a leadership coach, trainer, consultant, and what that means is I work with people or individuals who've just been promoted into new roles or new jobs for the first time. They're either the manager, the supervisor, or just a new leader, and they've got
there's a coach for that? Where were you?
Oh, yeah. Got the job of my dreams. I have been waiting for this, working toward this, and then they realize all of a sudden that the job of their dreams has become their living nightmare because they don't have enough time to do everything that they've been assigned to do. They got the wrong people on their team. They don't know how to maneuver through all of this, and so they're feeling like they're swimming in the deep end of the pool without a life jacket. And so I come, walk alongside of them, and help them through this transition and kind of help them build a roadmap.
Oh my gosh. I'm stunned that is your audience. We'll talk because I got some folks. Okay.
Great.
Now you need to come by Seasons tonight, I'm sure, for real. Okay. Natalie.
Hi.
I got so overwhelmed by that. Tell me a little bit about what it is you do, and not how you do it yet, but tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
I'm a life coach, and I have a lot of different avenues. However, my focus this morning is going to be on work-life balance. That's something that we definitely all need to do and try to get a hold of. I like to, I like to refer to it as the juggle is real. Basically, home, kids, husband, school, whatever. Right, you're juggling it all, and it's all about prioritizing and basically putting things in check. Balance is defined as an even distribution of weight, right? For someone to something to remain steady. So I think about that as equilibrium, right? When your equilibrium is off, things are not balanced. You're kind of on a tilt. So instead of basically calling it work-life balance, I double check it as an equilibrium evaluation, because what you need to do is to evaluate those opposing forces that are influencing you to be off balance, to take your equilibrium off.
Wow. Okay. So, ladies, I am so glad to know that this information is coming to us, because I was one of those people who didn't have a resource to help me navigate these kinds of things. And so I applaud you for entering this arena and giving us an opportunity to tap into people who are knowledgeable about how to navigate this stuff. There's nothing worse than trying to navigate a body of water and you are clueless, especially if you've never even been a sailor. You're like, okay, you know what? I don't know if I can even do this. I wear the life jackets.
Jumping in and can't swim, right?
Exactly. Like, are you for real, people? And I do remember, this is really good. I might get some email about this. One summer, after I got out of college, I needed a summer job in between teaching, and I decided, I'm going to go to the YMCA and do camp. And they were like, you got to swim.
Stand by. And 3, 2, 1.
Hi, everybody. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today's Coffee Thoughts. I'm joined by my co-host, Ms. Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. And we have two guests today, Ms. Melda Jones and Natalie Gorman. And we are going to have fun today. I want to let you know that we had a little technical difficulty, so we're running a little late. So we'll probably run till 8:45 as opposed to 8:30. So with that, I want to get on to the business of talking to our guests. Before we go there, I want to say hi, Fran. How you doing?
You're good.
Thank you. Cool. She's got us running on several platforms, ladies. You're on YouTube, Facebook, and God knows where else, because Francine is all about getting the word out for you. So let's begin. I want to talk to, I'm going to field this question to Melda, and then I'm going to field it to you, Natalie. It says, how would you describe yourself and what you do? So, Melda, we're going to start with you. Could you describe yourself and what it is you do?
Okay. I would describe myself as someone who really likes to help others. I like being part of a group, a team, effort of some type. And so it kind of led me into what I do, which is leadership coaching, training, and consulting. And I work with people who've been newly promoted for the first time into either a management position or a supervisory role. And they are in the position of their dreams finally. And they realize at that point that they're living a nightmare because they don't have what it takes. They don't have the skill necessary to do the job that they've been promoted into. And so they begin to feel like they are swimming in the deep end of the pool without a life jacket. And really
talk about that. Go ahead.
Yeah. And that was my position at one point. So in having lived there myself, I realized that I could help. And so I started doing that.
That's fantastic, because Biz Chicks is all about service first business. And I love the fact that you like to help people. Now, Natalie, I'm going to ask you the same question. How would you describe yourself and what it is you do? Hi. I just want to say hi.
Good morning, everyone. Basically, my platform is I am Natalie Gorman. And that's so many different facets of things that I do. But I'm a life coach. And today, though, as part of the big spread of I am Natalie Gorman, I'd like to talk about work-life balance. I like to call it equilibrium evaluation, because balance is defined as the even distribution of weight. And I like to say the juggle is real. When we have our work, our school, our children, our significant others, relaxation time, church, whatever it is that we're dealing with. We tend to overload ourselves and not prioritize our time in a way that's beneficial to us and basically healthy. If we're working too hard on one end, then something else seems to lack. I call it equilibrium evaluation, because equilibrium is a state in which two opposing forces and their influence are balanced. So each one of those areas of your life has some type of influence. And so your evaluation of it, judgment about the amount and the number of time that you're using and assessing something on which one should get more priority and how to balance all of that out together.
Wow. We've got some powerhouses in the house today. Okay, so I'm going to ask you first, Natalie.
Before you do that, Terry, I'd like to invite the audience to, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat and we will relay those questions. We will relay those questions to our guests, because there is some very intriguing information. I'm like, wow, okay. You would not have known that about either one of these ladies. You see them, they're smiling and all of that. You never know what's going on behind all of that. Like, oh, wait. So continue, please. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you, Natalie, if you could tell us quickly how you got started.
It kind of goes back a few years. I actually didn't really realize that I was doing this naturally, right? So I'm a retired Marine. And so at the same time, I was in the Marine Corps. I was playing women's tackle football. I had a small child and a teenager. My husband at home, going on deployments, and going to school all at the same time. It just so happened to work out. It was crazy at first, but someone asked me, how in the world do you do
what we do?
And I had to think about it. I don't know how I am doing it, but I started to write down certain things that were helping me be successful in managing all of those things.
Wow.
And it wasn't easy, but I didn't really realize how much stuff I had on my plate. And, you know, with my husband always telling me, you just can't do one more thing. You can't do one more thing. You're kind of stretched out. So with that being said, I had to prioritize and pull back on the things that really weren't significant or adding value to the whole picture. And putting some of those things down, taking things out of my juggle, right? Dropping some of those oranges, whatever you call them. And then within the evaluation, it's sort of like a wheel, right? It's how much time am I spending at work with my family, relaxation, things I love to do, church, school, finances. How are my finances in here? How much money am I distributing to all these activities and things that I'm doing? And where can I save if I'm trying to overload?
So this is how you got started? And you said, okay, I need to capsulize that and share it?
It actually started out as my coaching that I do for marriages, for intimacy.
Okay.
And some of the ladies that I talked to basically were like, you know, I got all this going on and this leads to not me spending enough time with my spouse. And then we started looking at these pockets. And it's like, wait a minute. Something that I was already doing, I could pull into my coaching, my intimacy marriage coaching with women, with spouses. And that's kind of branched off into a separate area.
Okay. Hi, Janelle. How you doing? We got some people watching over here on Facebook, and I just wanted to say hi to them. So thank you, Natalie. I just found out a bunch of stuff about you just in those couple of minutes.
I want to say thank you for your service.
Yes.
I'm like, oh,
thank you for that.
Yeah, because it's not readily known.
No, it's not. So I salute you for that. being the child of a long-term service member. I appreciate your sacrifice and the knowledge that you bring to the table. Wow. Okay, so you guys just keep overwhelming me. I'm supposed to be the host, right? Okay. Melna, can you just tell us a little bit about how you got started? Wow.
Mm-hmm. Sure. You know, Natalie,
yeah.
I kind of started from the same direction. I was working, new mother, you know, young children, young marriage, and was looking for a way to bring more income into our household, and decided to join the military. And I did about 6 years at the Air Force first as a aircraft mechanic.
Thank you.
Yes. And going to school, raising children, and decided that, hey, I could do a little more. But the Air Force was not that open to promoting enlisted personnel up to the officer ranks. And so I left the Air Force, joined the Navy, and became a naval maintenance officer. And that was actually yeah, it was great. Loved it. It was actually my first time in the role of a leader or a manager, because I had a whole squadron of folks that, you know, 300 men that I was leading and doing performance ratings for, and just, you know, giving assignments to, and I was stepping into the deep water. And so out of that, I moved on. I worked 37 years with the government, and I was in leadership roles. But that very first one, I did not know what I didn't know. And I found out pretty quick that there weren't a lot of people who were perhaps willing, is not the right word, but to walk that walk with me. They were overwhelmed themselves. They didn't have the time. And so I was kind of out there swimming by myself. And I thought, if ever, and it took me about 2 years to figure out what I was doing. I mean, I did a lot of stuff wrong those first 2 years as a leader. But I thought, once I've made it through this, if ever there is someone else who's doing this walk, I will walk it with them. And so that is where I started. And I began to do that while I did my job as a collateral duty. And when I retired, I decided to do it full time.
And, you know, and we thank you. And again, I had no clue when we scheduled you all to come on that both of you were in military at one time.
Isn't that amazing?
That's my that's my military sister right there now. Those bonds
to collaborate and service that community even broader.
Right.
Yes.
And those bonds are instant. It's like, okay, Melna, I know I
got you, right?
Yes.
And that's the only requirement. I
love it. I love it. And what I also love is that I'm hearing the concern for others. And I also know, having been in government service, if you're in government service, you have served. Yeah. Because it's not like you're going to get rich over there. Okay.
And I like the fact that Melna is working with leadership right now, because like she's saying, military leadership it's a totally different animal than in business. However, that transition that sometimes people need from the military to getting leadership roles in corporate America, there are actually services out there that help people transition into that way. Melna has the experience from the leadership perspective of the military to the leadership perspective in the corporate world. So that way she has a very unique niche on helping those people transition. And that is very valuable. We watch a lot of military officers and senior enlisted people come out of the military, get their first corporate jobs. And I got to tell you, Melna, I was one of those people that I wanted to take my Marine Corps mentality to the corporate world. And you know, that doesn't work. There's a lot of hurt feelings involved in that. And, those performance evaluations that I was supposed to be giving, some of those I was getting, because it was like, wait a minute, this is, you're not in the Marines anymore. And I'm thinking, I'm a Marine for life, so
yes,
on board. But you're absolutely correct. And someone like you has the awesome ability to take that transitional person from service life into corporate America in leadership.
Okay.
Good, awesome thing for job fairs on the military bases when they have them as a transition person and officer. That'd be great.
I'll have to look into that. Thank you. That's great.
Now, Natalie, I was going to ask you what was the biggest challenge you faced when you got started, but I'm going to assume it was transition.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask Melda, what was the biggest challenge you had when you first got started? And then we'll come back to you now, okay?
As a business owner?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It's kind of funny. It's not funny, but it's kind of funny because I am a, hierarchical, coming out of the military, disciplined person. And so everything has to be done in lockstep and in order, processes in place.
Process.
Foundation before you get started. And that served me well, throughout my career. But starting a business, not so much, because I struggled with when is the foundation built? When is it finished? At some point, you're done. Now, move on with what you have, or you'll never have any customers or clients. Mm-hmm. And so my biggest hang up, I did all of those things. I had a business license. I had my business name, my DBA, I knew my niche. I had my certification. I had everything except I was still locked into building the foundation. And coming out of that was difficult for me.
Knowing when you're ready. Or starting imperfectly.
Yes. Perfectionism.
Yes. Just over criticizing ourselves, and as a result, we're sabotaging the commencement of a business.
Yes.
Okay. I want to make sure I was clear on that. Okay.
You have it.
So Natalie, what was your biggest challenge getting started in your business?
I'm going to probably echo what Milna is saying. And it if it weren't for Genesis School of Business and Entrepreneurship, I'm telling you, I had the same thing. Well, I don't have this yet. I don't have that yet. I don't have a place yet. I don't have speaking engagements. I'm trying to find places to speak. I didn't need all those things. All the knowledge was already in my head. I'm speaking about life things that I already know about, from
experience. Mm-hmm.
Experience that I already have. And I was, I got to do this. And actually just stepping out and doing, some things or coaching couples either before they get married, or I was doing that anyway. I mean, people are always calling me, Auntie, you and Uncle Mike are always so happy. What's your secret? And I've been coaching people for a minute. And then I just had to say to myself, you know what? Let me just get a system in place where we can talk about from A to Z, either before you make that jump to go into marriage, to after that, and how intimacy plays a big part in that. But wait a minute, now you've got, if you're already in that stage and you're gone down a little bit more, now you've got your family, you've got the kids. Now you have a husband, and you're trying to manage all these things in your time. Mm-hmm. And so I had the knowledge, I had the experience, but I'm waiting to get brick and mortar and a foundation and a whole speaking engagement list before I share. And I learned that I did not have to do that. Mm-hmm. I didn't have to do it.
So overcoming the self-sabotage of getting started.
Yeah.
Sounds like, okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I have a question for Melda now. It is, what's your biggest tip one tip that you want to pass on to our listeners about business. You could share one thing. What would it be?
Okay, I had this crazy idea when I first started my business. I don't know why, and it's taken me a while to get past it. That if I built it, they'll come. Don't worry about marketing. Hey, I hate marketing. I hate being salesy. I'm not going to do that stuff, but it'll be okay. No, it won't. No, it won't.
Oh my God.
If I don't tell people that I'm doing this, how are they going to know? So I learned finally that I do have to market. And that's the biggest piece of running a business. I mean, you got to market.
Okay. So guys, you heard her. If you're not marketing, you need to call the Biz Chicks because you need to market. Okay.
So pretty much marketing. So marketing in a nutshell is tell somebody what you're doing.
Okay. Yeah, because, if you have never run a business, you don't even know what the word means. Thank you, Francine. It just means you need to let people know you're in business and what it is you are about. So if you're selling popsicles, you need to let us know. And let us know when the popsicles are available so we can show up and get some popsicles. And it would be nice to know what flavors you got. Okay, before we drive across town to get a popsicle. Yeah. Okay, Natalie, what is the one tip that you would share with us, with our viewers, about business? There's so many.
I'd have to say really about prioritizing your life load. And that means different things for different people. Balance, the stability in what you're doing. Positioning, arrange something in a particular way that is helpful to you. Try to gain some symmetry, which is similar parts, providing evenness is what I mean by that. Parity, state or condition of being equal. And all these things attribute to balance, right? So steadiness, find your securely fixed position and don't be wavering about it. Unwavering, no compromise. Put things in order. You want to arrange things and group them in a manner that are beneficial to you. And calmness. Calmness is the last thing that you really achieve when you put things in order, when you arrange them, when you group them, when you check the symmetry, the positioning, the balance, the parity, and the steadiness. And all of that is to just having faith and knowing that you can accomplish any shift in your equilibrium if you try to balance out those things.
So what I heard was we need to prioritize and then get some structure about our stuff.
Well, when you say structure, right, that's different for everyone.
Everyone, depending on what it is.
Any of those synonyms, right? Are you trying to achieve symmetry or balance? Are you trying to position yourself in a way to make this balance happen, or position yourself in a way to be more successful? Even taking what Melna does and positioning, right? So if you've got this new position, how are you making yourself successful in that if you don't have the leadership training? You need that. You need to arrange things in a particular way to make you successful. One of those ways could be reaching out to someone like Melna to say, hey, I got this new position. What do I do with it? Because I don't know.
I agree. And in particular, ladies, we have a whole generation that has just taken over our government jobs, our military jobs, jobs in the private sector, and they need guidance. And so I strongly encourage you to reach out to those millennials who have had the pathway forged for them, and now we just sort of handed them the mantle and we're out. It's like, I'm out. Good luck, because they didn't really invest in transition, a lot of these entities. So I thank you for those tips. Now I'm going to ask you, I'm going to start with Natalie. Natalie, what is your favorite charity or cause?
before you jump over there and go there, I wanted to say Alfredo made a comment. He said he marketing here, and I want to make sure I got this right, Alfredo, that you're teaching Clint D. Johnson how to use Facebook Live to market himself. So if you need, I would also reach out to Alfredo. He's a biz chick dude. He kind of hangs with us and tells us about our tech and stuff like that, but reach out to him in the sense of find out what he's doing over there, especially if you're going to be using Facebook Live to market yourself. Check in with him and Carlos. Carlos Phoenix is over there watching too. They have information that may help you. That will probably help you, not may, will probably help you very well. Yes. Now, continue, Terry. Thank you.
Okay. Of course, my phone started acting up. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. Notifications coming in. Okay, so I was going to ask, what is your favorite charity or cause? And did I say I was going to start with Natalie? I've lost my place. Okay, Natalie, can you tell us what your favorite charity or cause is?
I actually have two. One, of course, is my homeless veterans, and there are a number of different charities, for those. But usually every year, day after Thanksgiving, we usually go to whatever local park that we live near, where we know a lot of homeless people are hanging out. A lot of them are veterans, and we cook actual meals. We don't take bag lunches. We're out there, got chicken on the grill, big pot of green beans, macaroni and cheese, rolls. A lot of my friends who do couponing have all this bulk stuff, so we take that out there. And so that's one of my favorite things, is because I feel like it's a shame if we did so much for this country and yet we come back here, we don't even have a roof over our head.
We're not even celebrated, yeah.
It just doesn't even seem like that should be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one. And then my second one is suicide prevention. I'm a survivor of domestic violence and from a husband who also committed suicide. So that was something that affected our entire family in a way where if I could, I would not like to see people's children go through that type of thing. And so I try to go on the walks that they have for suicide prevention every year and give to charities that support suicide prevention.
Thank you. So, Melna, what is your favorite charity or cause?
I have a couple as well. I try to give locally. And the first one is the Sacramento Food Bank for families. I've known quite a few friends, family members who've had to take advantage of support through them. So I like to support that cause when I can. And the other is the American Cancer Society. I've had a couple of cancers and other family members have as well. So I try to give for research. I want them to find a cure, preferably in my lifetime, but probably not. So I give where I can, and I attend the marches and other events as well.
To support that.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies. Now I'm going to ask you this. Melna, what was your best day ever?
My best day ever? Gosh, there's been a lot of them.
Good.
Okay, so is there a perimeter around that? It's just best day ever in my life?
It's best day ever, girl.
Oh, wow. That is really difficult.
I know.
I'm going to go with something more recent.
Okay.
I feel like I have favor. I'm walking in a blessed life.
Amen.
And so I'd have to say the best day of my life was recently when I realized that I have life, and it's a great life, and that I have the opportunity to live, to breathe, to walk, to think. And that was recently. That was probably the end of last year when I had a word that said either you get busy living or you get busy dying.
There you go.
And that woke me up. And I'm living a blessed life.
Fantastic. Thank you. Natalie, what is your best day ever? What was your best day ever?
That's also a little hard. I want to say the best day is because I'd have to choose between the birth of either one of my children and they both, you
better not. You better not, girl.
I know. So I'm gonna veer away from that, and I'll just say, how about a day of revelation? How about that? Is that okay?
That's good.
Is a day that I realized that I could break the chain of domestic abuse.
Amen.
That I could be free from that in my life and to thrive myself and actually have something to give others by not hiding in that shadow.
Well stated. Well stated.
So I'm going to ask you this, ladies, and don't have to get real personal. It says, what is the one thing in your purse that you can't do without? I'm going to start with Melna. Melna, what's the one thing in your purse that you can't do without?
It reminds me of Let's Make a Deal.
No.
One thing.
One thing in my purse. The one thing in my purse I can't do without is my chewing gum.
Oh, okay. Okay. And Natalie, what's the one thing in your life that you can't do without?
Not in the life, in the purse.
Pardon me, did I say in your life?
Yes.
That was a big question. What's the one thing in your purse that you can't do without?
My Vicks Vapor Rub.
Oh, really? I didn't know you had that in your purse.
I cannot elaborate on that right now.
Okay.
That's another show.
I hear you.
That stems from my childhood and my grandmother and Vicks Vapor Rub. Yeah.
Okay. There you go. I'm thinking, normally when we ask that question, I'm thinking, okay, compact, phone, pens or something. Okay, that was just, okay.
That's interesting. Okay, so I'm going to ask you this. Ladies, where can we find you online? Because most of our audience is usually online. So we're going to ask you to tell us where we can find you. So Natalie, can you tell us where you can be found?
Sure. What I'm most active on is my Facebook page. It's called I Am Natalie Gorman. And there are things on the page that are different topics that we can talk about. There's an area there to book me as a keynote speaker or to just have me come and work with you for work-life balance. I also perform marriages, but I don't do it without...
We're just be learning stuff. Go ahead.
I don't do
that's
it.
My English behind that.
No, but that was part of making my marriage intimacy consultations, and that. But I won't perform one unless we've had a chance to, as a couple, talk.
Okay, so we can find you on I Am Natalie Gorman, Gorman.
That is correct.
Okay, and if someone would type that in the chat and on Facebook. Okay, so Melna, where can we find you?
You can find me on my website, simplyleadcoaching.com, or LinkedIn, or Facebook and Twitter, and all simplyleadcoaching.com.
All simply?
No, all of those sites.
Oh, okay. So what's
Simply
the name
Lead
of the website?
Coaching.
Simply Lead Coaching.
Yes.
Okay. Is that a .com?
.com.
Okay.
Yes.
Because we're bizchicks.net, so I just didn't want to assume. Okay, so Simply Lead Coaching.com. And
yes.
It's the same title on Facebook, Simply Lead Coaching.
Great. Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter.
Okay. And will we see your faces when we get to the website so we'll know we're in the right place? We're not the wrong Natalie or the wrong Melna?
That is correct. You will
yes,
see.
ma'am.
Oh, good. Okay, so guys, if you get over there, you don't see these ladies' faces, you're on the wrong one. Okay. So with that, we want to thank you, ladies, so much for joining us for Coffee Talks this morning. I hope that our audience will continue to field questions, and we'll make sure that you get those questions. If you are in need of leadership, I would say training and coaching, we want to talk to Melna. If you're in need of relationship, well, Lord Jesus, in relationship issues, and that doesn't necessarily just mean
working out balancing of your life loads.
Okay. Figuring out life balance. And I think we all need that. We do a lot of shows on life balance, Natalie. So our audience does tune in to get that kind of information. I would recommend that you contact Natalie. With that, I want to remind you that today is First Mondays, and we will be at Seasons 52 for those of you who are local at the Arden Fair Mall from 5 to 7 tonight. We got some great speakers. Come out and join us at the meetup. Meet some great ladies like Melna and Natalie. You can meet them in person.
And there are guys that attend as well. So the guys don't feel like you can't come because you're a guy. We have guys that come.
Our speaker last month was Brian, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So and then Alfredo says that he has Melna's LinkedIn page.
Oh, cool.
Right. And Natalie, I would like to say to you, I believe that your I Am Natalie Gorman would work well in LinkedIn as well.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And I should see y'all on Instagram too. I'm just meddling right now, but okay.
No, because this is one of the things that
doing that Biz Chicks thing.
Exactly. It's one of the things that I look to Biz Chicks for. Because like I said, when we were talking before about what stops you from kind of getting started, for me having all those foundational things, I have Facebook and I have Instagram, but I need those other things to get myself in.
Yeah, so we're going to help you with that because you all have your story straight already. See, that was the one thing. A lot of people jump out there on Facebook and Twitter and they're everywhere, but their message is a mess. And so it's hard to kind of rein that back in, but what you all have done, your messages together. So now we can get it out there because you already know what to say when you get out there.
I think it would also work great as a podcast, particularly out to the military.
Yes. I would like to have so stop it, Terry. Stop. Because the two of you can do a podcast together to military families and to the military in general, and we can help you do that. So stay tuned after we get offline.
We will talk offline.
Just stay there when we get offline. When the live is over, just stay right there. Because that I think is genius. A lot of people,
Francine, ask, what is it y'all do? We do this kind of thing. We can see the genius
in you.
Gifts, and we can help you get that to your audience in a way that's easy so you don't have to learn new stuff. We just let us handle it. So guys, I want to thank you for tuning in. I want you to share this and to watch the replay. If you're watching on the replay, we say thank you. Please share it out. Please let people know about these lovely ladies and what they do. And don't forget to go to the front of your own line.
Yes.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So stay with us while we tune out, ladies.